then I go here.
You gonna edit it?
Yeah. Oh,
Huh?
no, we don't edit. No. Hold on.
Why not?
I don't know how.
Oh man.
So go tune in right now.
No, hold on.
We're about to
Are you recording it now?
We're recording. We're about to go
Huh?
live in about a few seconds. We live on Facebook right now. We're live, so
Oh, okay.
1 second. Let me go to my Facebook page. And I gotta go to the live video, then I gotta change it. Edit audience. We live, y'all. 1 second. I finally got him. I finally got him. Finally got him. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let me go to my phone. Okay. And let me go to my page. Did you figure out how to share it on your page or no? Uh-oh. Mike. I think I lost him already.
Oh,
You're frozen.
you froze.
Huh? No, you frozen. All right, y'all, just hold on. He's coming back on. We're trying to get this right. Trying to get this right for y'all. Okay. Okay, let's see this work, y'all. Let's see if we got Mr. Mike
Can
Mosley.
you can you hear me?
We can hear you. And
Oh, okay.
we can see you. I think the camera's gonna, yeah, all right. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, I got my brother. Finally got my brother. I think I'm the only one that could text him and say, I need you. And don't wait for a yes or no, right? You didn't
Yeah.
even respond when I said it, huh? Can you hear me?
No. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, you didn't even respond. I said, I need you such and such. You didn't even say nothing back. You probably was like, all right, all right. Mr. Mike Mosley is
Yeah.
he's not in the building, he's in the car. All right, y'all.
Right.
We just want to know about Mike Mosley tonight. So let me tell y'all, when I first met him, we was at Big Hollis event, remember? And Big Hollis
Which one? The
he keeps freezing.
uh, right.
No, you're cutting in and out.
I ain't even
I don't know. Wait, hold on. You're going in and out. I got to get you in a building.
let me move around. Let me see. What's that like? That better?
Yeah, we can hear you better, but you know the camera's still kind of glitchy right now.
Right,
There you go.
right here?
Yeah, there you go. All right. You want to say something? Quit looking so mean.
I just gotta hold it. I just gotta hold it.
All right. All right. So I got my Mosey. It's not the clearest, but we got him. All right. Just bear with us. All right. Um, we first met at Big Hollis event at the whatever he had, right?
Yeah. Was it that Scottish, right?
Yeah, the Scottish, thank you, the Scottish Rite Center. And
Right.
when they said your name, I was like, well, I finally get to meet the guy that I played most of my videos was the music he produced.
Right.
And
Right.
then when I introduced myself to you, man, you just took me to the side and we've been clicked since then. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I just want to say I appreciate you for that, and just embracing me the way you did on the first time we met and stuff. Because it's like we heard of each other and then we finally
Right.
met each other and stuff.
Right. Right. No, appreciate you. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mr. Mosley, what was Mike Mosley like as a kid?
Well, I mean, I was the same way I am now, just creative, you know, creative and trying to do a bunch of stuff at once.
Did you play sports?
Same way I'm doing now.
You play?
Yep, I played football, baseball, bowling, and basketball.
Oh, you good at bowling?
Yeah. I
Okay.
bowled in the league all the way up until I was in junior high, from
What?
elementary to junior high.
I didn't know that.
I got so many trophies and patches and badges and all kind of stuff that I had as a kid bowling in bowling leagues.
Wow.
I got so many
Wait one
trophies
second.
and patches. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go bowling with you one day. Can can
Yeah.
you can you still bowl?
Yep. I was at the bowling alley last night.
What? Okay.
I didn't bowl. I just was up there talking to my cousin
Oh, okay.
because my whole family still bowl.
Wow. I think you're the first person I ever met that
Oh,
was like a professional bowler. That's just crazy. So,
basically.
man. So what you did that
Yeah.
in what, junior high and high school? Or when were you the professional bowler?
That was elementary and junior.
Elementary, junior? Okay. So what was Mike like in high school?
Yeah. Oh, that's when I started entrepreneuring. That's when I was entrepreneuring back then.
Mm,
That's when the whole DJing, started to DJing. That's when that happened in high school.
okay.
And then at a high school, that's when I start street hustling
You
and
start
just
street
kind of
hustle?
like and still would dabble in and start dabbling a little bit in music stuff and just hustle street hustling basically and
Okay.
turn
Yeah, you kind of still going in and out, family. All right. You can hear me? There you are.
right. I
Huh?
think this right here.
Now you're breaking up. See what happens when you get one of
Still
the,
right now. I ain't
yes, major producers, they don't have good connection. Cause
yeah, Riley.
oh my,
Huh?
man, you're breaking up, you're not
You see
clear.
that Terry Riley? Me,
What you want to do?
I'm gonna try and move.
Okay.
Let me try and move the location. Probably
Okay.
because a bunch of so
Not this bad. We got Mike Mosley. He's trying to get the good connection.
hold on. Hold on. Get it together. Hold on.
All right.
Let me get it together. Hold on. What about now?
Yeah.
It's
So
better
far,
now?
so good. So far, so good.
All right.
Okay. So you started street hustling, right? And getting into producing in high school?
Yeah. Out of high school, like at the 12th grade.
About 12th grade? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what made you get into producing? Like, what did you see? Like, hey, I want to do that.
Just, the hip hop records you hearing, and you know what I mean? Just being infatuated with the whole hip hop culture
Mhm.
and wanting to figure out how to do what they're doing or
Oh,
feeling
wow.
like I could do what they do.
What was your first, how did you get your first equipment and all that stuff? And how did you really start, what did you practice on and all that stuff? Hey, Katie,
Uh,
Katie, he's coming. I promise. He's coming on 360 radio. I could barely get him on here right now.
say that question again, Leah.
uh, what did you like what was your first equipment? Like, what did you use to when you first did your first beat? What did do you remember what you used?
I use uh like some stuff from the pawn shop, like some drum, like it was a TR 707, 808s, 909s, and uh we actually had like four tracks. We didn't have no sequencers, so we had four tracks. So we would do everything on a four track, like one track at a time,
Oh, wow.
and just
Wow.
playing it. You know, it wasn't no computers, no. I didn't. We didn't have sequencers until after like the late '80s is when we had sequencers.
Wow. And you grew up in Fairfield, right?
Yeah.
Was that the only city that you lived in as a youngster, or?
Now I lived in LA first. I mean, I lived in Fairfield, and then I moved to LA, and then I moved back to. I lived in Linwood, and then I moved back to
Mm.
Fairfield.
Oh, wow. My friend lives in Linwood. In fact, look,
Yeah.
one little Easy's aunts live in Linwood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so how did you like, okay, so you got into producing, you liked it and stuff. How did you start getting your name out there? Like, who was the first artist that you worked with? And how did you get your name out?
Um, it wasn't really an artist like that. They were just like friends. You know what I mean? That
Mm,
are first people that I worked with. It was like not necessarily artists. They were just people trying to rap at the time. You know.
uh-huh.
So yeah, it was like a friend of mine named Gigolo Jack and this white rapper by the name of Bob Bowen. I used to work with them as a kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how did who was your first like major artist, you know?
The major artist was I mean it had to be E40, you know what I mean? But he wasn't even major. He wasn't known then, you know what I mean?
How'd y'all meet?
So it was just, you know, in the streets, just hustling in the streets.
Mhm.
But it was we were all just practicing at the same time. So it's not like he was already on, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
We all came in together. We all got on at the same time, basically.
Oh, okay. So you guys met in the street and you know, and I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how you and 40 just got into the studio and all that stuff.
Yeah, 40, he came to my house and saw that I had was doing music. And so that's when he told me he was doing music. And so
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's how we made the connection. He just happened to be at my house one day.
You didn't have him in the like the studio. What's it called? The room. What's the room? Sound room. They go in there with the mic. What's that called again?
The vocal booth.
Yeah. You didn't have him in the closet like Rick Rock did. I went to Rick Rock's closet. I went at Rick Rock's house. He had this closet. He said 40 be recording there. I said, that's when 40 was big. I said, how 40 get his
Mhm.
butt up in that room?
Yeah, we wasn't recording there. We were just making the music there, and then we would go to a real studio. He would pay for studio time.
Oh, okay.
And we would go to a real studio. We never really did no closet stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Rick had the
Yeah,
little the foam and everything up in there. And I was like, I
yeah,
just can't picture my brother up in that closet recording. You
yeah.
know,
No, yeah, we didn't do that.
wow. Um, so you worked with 40. What was it like working with Pac? And how did that happen?
Um, I met Pac in Atlanta at this Jack the Rapper convention, and he had actually wanted to work with me. I didn't even I just was trying to meet him, but when I met him, I'm like, okay, yeah, let's work. But he was asking to work with me,
Oh.
which is the crazy part.
And what
But
songs
he had,
did you do for Pac? Or
I
songs?
did I did Heavy in the Game, Can You Get Away, We Ain't Hard to Find,
Mm.
War Stories, I'm Getting Money, uh and The Good Life.
Oh,
And
wow.
Dusted and Disgusted with 40, him and 40, then Million
Oh,
Dollar Spot with him and 40.
oh, wow.
They're
Wow.
like nine
I still
songs with
play
him.
that song. I
And
still play
maybe
those two.
and probably there's probably about two or three other ones that I did that probably didn't come out. Yeah. Then
Mm.
probably some I did with this group, the Outlaws.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. And how did you get to meet TQ?
I met TQ, this record label executives dude that Mike Karen. There was he was like an intern at the time at Big Beat, Atlantic Records, and I had met him. I don't know how I met Mike Karen. Oh, I must have met Mike Karen through EMI, through Big John. But Mike Karen had told me that if I ever needed somebody singing on a hook or something, because I used to just go to LA and just record at the studio on Sunset. I would just drive to LA from the Bay Area and just book a session and just go there and just work on tracks. And so he had told me, what if I'm ever in town, if I'm in the studio working, I need somebody to come sing a hook, hit him up. And so he had actually took me to this convention and called the NAM. And while I was riding around going to the NAM, he was playing TQ music for me. And TQ sounded like a R. Kelly or something before R. Kelly was really even going. And then I, a couple of weeks go by, a month or so go by, something. I come back to LA, and then I called Mike Karen and told him to send TQ over there. And that was the night we actually made West Side.
Oh, wow. For real?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah.
Did he win an award or anything for that one?
Nah, he
Remember.
went gold. He went sold gold record. You got a gold record from that.
Oh, okay. Have you ever tried to rap or what?
Who, TQ?
No, you.
Oh, nah.
No, nobody. You never wanted to go in there, and spit some lyrics and stuff.
Nah, I could write some stuff, but I never really, I never did it.
Wow. And how did you run across Rick Rock?
Um, I knew Rick Rock from Fairfield. I
Oh,
already knew him. I already knew Rick Rock. Growing up in Fairfield, we already knew each other. Rick Rock was a producer. I mean, he wasn't a producer. He was a beatboxer. He
Rick
was a
Rock was?
beatboxer. Yeah, he used to beatbox. So he used to be around these dudes, and he used to be around these one dudes, and he was the beatbox dude while they was rapping,
Mm.
right? And so I knew him from then. And then my manager, Scott Gordon, he happened to just be in Alabama, and he knew how busy I was, and he knew that he just got me a publishing deal. I just got my publishing deal in LA. Scott helped me get that. And so he was a promoter um, for a lot of different people, a whole bunch of people. Priority Records, just a lot of people. Def Jam, he just knew a bunch of people. And so he was out in Alabama doing some promotional stuff, and he ran into Rick Rock because we all know each other. And so he saw that Rick was producing beats, and he he put Rick on the phone, and I must have heard some beats or something, and Scott was like, he can come out there and help you at the studio. You know what I mean? Because I know you swamped, you need some help out there. This is when I was really at the height or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, he let me hear what he was doing. I'm like, yeah, I know Rick Rock. Yeah, have him come. He can come. So he was already having him come out to California to do some stuff with the Conscious Daughters. And
Mm.
so I had him come do some stuff with me, and I saw, I liked what he was doing. And so he was only producing beats on MPC, I mean on SB 1200 at the time. And so I showed him how I produced and showed him how to use the drum machines that I was using.
Mm.
And then he just started using the drum machines and just, start working on my equipment, basically. You know what I mean? And so that's how I met him. And then he was playing me some demo tapes,
Mm.
and he played me a demo tape of some of his guys back in Alabama because he wanted to try and get them on. But the guys he was playing me wasn't the guys I was interested in. I was interested in a whole nother guy that was on there, and
Mm.
that was Dooney Baby from the
Oh,
Federation. And that's how Dooney Baby came out because I was like, no, I want to work with Dooney Baby. So we flew him out to California, and they all, basically stayed with me at my studio. Or they stayed at my studio.
oh, wow. Yeah, I first met them when I got called to interview Cosmic Slop Shop back in the days. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but it was just God, who was I think it was just Rick Rock and Dooney because Lurch wasn't around. So I never Never met him. I just met doing it. It seemed like there was another, was there another person in the group? I'm trying to remember. It seemed like there was three of them.
It was Lurch, Dooney, and Rick Rock.
That was it?
Yeah,
Okay. It seemed like when I interviewed them, it seemed like there might have been somebody else, but
yeah, it
you
was
know,
him. But you, I don't know if you realize it, but that label, that was my production deal I had. That was a production deal I had did with James Mtume and his son Damu Mtume.
oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
they gave me a production deal, and then I put together the Cosmic Slop Shop, and Rick did a lot of the producing on there. I probably did a couple songs, but that was under my production company thing I did with MCA Records.
Spittle says hi. She's watching.
Oh,
You know,
tell us that.
yeah, he said hi to Spittles. So um, so who has kept you in the studio like the longest? You like, man, I'm tired, I'm ready to go home. What artist was it? Be like,
Uh,
probably 40, huh?
no, I mean, you don't feel like that. I don't,
Mhm.
if that's what you're doing, you know what I mean? I ain't never felt like that.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Because I heard y'all could be in the studio like for days sometimes.
Yeah, that's just normal though. That's just like, you know what I mean? If you into what you're doing, you don't never feel like that. You just fall out. You
Mm,
fall out, or everybody just gets tired at the same time.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't be like, oh man, that's tired of this. Let's go. You know what I mean? It never was that.
Mm,
Too much adrenaline.
wow, that's crazy. Um, so I wanted to ask you, well, not actually, I wanted to tell you, remember that time we was at the what's it called, downtown? You always quiet. Nobody knows you in the room. You like you don't like all that fame. Like it was, you didn't want to do like you going in and out of camera now. Like you never want, like you always in the back. You don't like that fame and stuff, huh?
Nah, I'm just an introvert. I don't really like talking too much.
I know. I know, because y'all, when I told him an hour, he was like, wait a minute, nonsense. No.
That's too much.
30
That's
minutes,
way
30
too much.
minutes, but I was like,
That's
it's me,
way too.
it's
No,
me.
but not only that, the hour is just too. You don't want to. I learned something producing SIBO album is when you
Yeah,
do
well,
something when you don't give them enough, people want more. When you give them too much, they don't want no more. You know what I mean? So you don't want to just people's attention span nowadays is even shorter than when I did this one song with for SIBO, one of his best street songs that people like. I think it was like one an interlude or it was some faux deep or some type of song I did for him. It was a short song,
uh-huh.
but people love that the most, and it dawned on me they love it the most because they didn't get enough of it. You know what I mean? So I always like to try and do things to where you don't get enough of it. That's the purpose of a sampler. You know what I mean? That's why they give you a sample to make you want more.
Yeah, yeah. But in my defense, it's so hard to get you, catch up with you, and I'm your good friend.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing to do with the theory. How much you get, how much juice you can get out of it.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
still, sometimes I'm like, I gotta get you down, gotta get all the time I
Now
can.
you
I gotta let
you
you know.
do another one though. What I'm saying is you do a whole
Yeah,
another,
I know.
you
But
do another one.
but I gotta catch you first. I'm looking, I'm just blessed. Like I said, y'all, this is my early birthday. He gave me my early birthday present tonight, you know, giving me this interview and stuff. So now, how did you get into films?
Um, I mean, this I've been filming this whole time. I've been filming since the '90s.
Oh, wow.
Been filming, so I got footage of me and everybody. I got Left Eye footage. I got E40 footage. I got Tupac footage. I got um, me at magic shows in the '90s, and
Man, I
so
love
I've always had or somebody's always been around me filming something, just documenting, not really knowing what we was gonna do with it. We just was filming, right? And so then in '99 is when I 98 is when I started editing. So I went and bought a camera,
it.
and the first documentary I edited, and actually that's the second one. I did like a compilation or collage of things. I didn't know what I was doing. I think it was called Hood Hood Chick Shift Kits or something. It was something crazy, right? But I went and bought a camera, and the first documentary that I tried to do professionally was a documentary I did with Mac Dre called Fizzed Out. And so I
Mm,
had Mac Dre come to my house. I was living in Sacramento at the time. I had him come up there and I edited that. And, it came out cool, whatever. That was just like a first little novelty thing. Um, and just kind of just got pushed to the side. And then after maybe about eight, 8 years later, we ended up just trying to figure out. And the first professional film we did was this movie with Sibo and the Hood Stars called what's it called? I can't think of the name of it right now. Yeah, I can't think of the name of that movie right now.
okay. And where can they see your movies and stuff at? Like, how did you start
It's
getting it on,
it's it's some it's some on Tubi. We got about 4 or 5 of them on Tubi.
Buffalo? Okay.
Got one with Tiffany Haddish, one with Pinky from Fridays, called Sliders. The Tiffany Haddish is called All Between Us. Then one we just did called I want to say Allen Tracker.
Mm.
Um, and but we got about 10 of them that
Yeah,
we are
Squancho.
editing.
Squancho was in one, right?
Yeah, Scruncher was in the he was in Sliders, the one with Clifton Powell and Katie Albert and Omar Gooding.
Oh, okay.
That's the one he was in. Yeah, Scruncho. Talking about when he was in Sacramento at the club, huh?
Would you have me get his number?
Yeah,
Yeah, when he was at the comedy show, he was like, "Get
yeah,
his number." Yeah, okay.
yeah.
He didn't do it then. He was like that was like kind of down the road when you did the movie, right?
I don't remember. I don't remember the timeline of that.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit down the road and stuff. So what movies I mean, so I know you're about to do a casting call and stuff pretty soon and stuff for another movie. How far out is that now? Because people's ask
Uh,
they want to be in your movies.
so we usually do at least one film. Hello.
Yeah.
We usually do at least one film, maybe two a year. We got one we just edited. It won't be out for another 3 months, but we just got done editing that one. It's like a romantic comedy thing we just did.
Hmm.
Just finished that one. The next one we do is probably going to be a documentary, um, and then uh, just another like a cannabis movie we're gonna do. I'm sure.
Okay.
So yeah, so we're gonna. I don't know. Sometime this year, it's not really on the schedule. It's just I know I'll just be putting stuff on the board, and just
Yeah, you
whenever we
do.
can get around to it, then we do it.
Yeah, you do. And I'll be ready and stuff. You be like, okay, well, we need to put that on hold.
Yeah, yeah. You can yeah, just because there's so much stuff just changes when the wind blows. It just everything changes direction. You end up having to do something else. Something else may take more priority than the film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's really just the film is really just a hobby at this point. You know what I mean? It's like because it takes so long to do it.
Mhm.
It, so
Now, how do you feel like I get like people always ask me, they know I know you. And they be like, can I get a beat from Mike Mosley? Everybody wants a Mike Mosley beat. And I'd be like, he's not really doing music anymore. He's doing, but
right,
people always ask that, how
right.
does that make you feel when you hear that?
Yeah, it's kind of it's tricky because it's like you can get a beat from anybody, but it's like if I can't get at least 2,500, people ain't spending 2,500 minimum, and that's cheap. You know what I mean? People think 2,500 is a lot,
Mhm.
but that's what it would take for me to just, what I mean, be focused on, what I mean, doing a track. But most people ain't got that.
Yeah. Now,
So it's like,
yeah.
mm-hmm,
Did you expect from the time when you started producing to now, did you expect like to be, because you famous, I ain't gonna lie, you famous. Did
right.
you wanted, you famous, you know, did you think like, it would get to that when you was
Nah,
starting?
because I wasn't really doing it to be famous. You know what I mean? We
Mm,
wasn't even, that wasn't the angle. It wasn't, let me do it because I want to be, you know what I mean? Because I always been like that. I always been popular. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I was reaching to be something, you
mm,
know what I mean, that I already wasn't. You know what I mean? So that wasn't even the
Mm,
assumption when I was doing the music. I just was wanting to be successful in the space and be able to make a living. I didn't know I could make a living doing
mm.
music and stuff. You know what I mean? So when I realized that, that's when I really was like, okay, let me go in and really do this.
Yeah. When did you realize that you really pretty much kind of made it? You know what I mean? Like, what record hit so hard, you'd be like, man, you know,
It was E40. It had to
or
be the E40 album because that was the first one that really came out. You know what I mean? It
mm,
came out and was on the radio.
oh,
All the stuff we had did prior to that, it didn't have no major distribution. You know what I mean? It wasn't on a major label. It was a bunch of street records. You
hmm,
would hear people riding around playing it, but you didn't hear it in this on the radio. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
that was a different thing. It's like you made it when you finally get your stuff on the radio back then because it was hard then. It's hard now, but it was harder back then.
yeah. You know, people's popping like CDs out of the trunk back in the days, and you know, I remember like people used to walk into the radio stations, and hand. Seemed like it was a little bit more simpler back then than it is now. What do you think? But now we got the internet.
Yeah, I never been able to figure that radio thing out at all. It's just because it's so many. It's like secret handshakes, or you got to pay somebody. You can't pay nobody. It's like, what's the real deal? I don't know, but I know that the major labels, if you own a major label, you get on the radio. You know what I mean? But if you're not, you might get a one or two little spins here or there, or you might be one of the lucky one out of 100 that might get a spin. But I
Hmm.
ain't never been able to figure out how to really move in that radio station space.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now you've been a lot of places, right? You've been around a lot of folks and stuff. Has there anybody that you've been around that you be like, wow, I can't believe I'm standing next to this person?
Um, yeah, it's a record label executive lady by the name of Sylvia Rome. That's who had me starstruck. I don't know why. It just hit me all of a sudden. I'm like, man, I'm actually starstruck over Sylvia Rome right now.
But you've been around like Jay-Z and all them, right?
No, I ain't been around Jay Z.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
actually, I have been around. I have been around Jay Z actually. But yeah, nah. I mean, everybody got their person who you know what I mean.
yeah.
Them is just regular people. Sylvia Rome to me, I guess, because she signed in Vogue, she signed Busta Rhymes, she signed Missy Elliott. But I don't think it was because of who she signed. It's because of what she was. I think one of the first black women to be running a major record label type thing. You know what I mean? And I set up a meeting. My homeboy set up a meeting for me when I was in New York one time, just out the blue, and she was like, "Yeah, come through. What's up?" Like I didn't even know the lady knew me like that. You know what I mean? But she had been in the Bay Area a lot because, like I say, she signed in Vogue, and those producers, Tommy and Denny, they would, you know what I mean? She was just familiar with the Bay Area culture, evidently. So she had to know me from that. And
Oh,
so
wow.
my homeboy called her, and he just like on a cold call, just called her, reception picked up. Hey, Mike Mosley is town. He want to come through and meet with Sylvia Rome or whatever, right? And so they were like, yeah, sure, come on, let's go. I'm like, what? Just out the blue. And so I got up in there, and I'm in her office was like her office was almost like an apartment. It was like an apartment. And
Wow.
so all of a sudden something just came over me. It's like they had me waiting, like on some anticipating, you know what I mean? Like, and so they had me waiting there for a minute inside her office. I was in her office, but she wasn't in there. But they had me in there chilling, waiting for like 20 minutes. And then she just popped through a door on me. You know what I mean? And then
Wow.
and then just started talking. But I'm like, dang, I'm actually starstruck over right now. I
Wow,
couldn't believe it.
man. And what's the favorite place for your favorite place to go to? I think I already know, but once you let the people know when you like to get away, and have that Mike Mosley me time, where do you like to go?
Most places out the country. Most places out the country.
I
I
know.
like I like the it used to be in Miami, but now it's going out the country now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
To the Caribbean, Southeast Asia, or I don't really like Europe no more like I used to. But um, yeah, like going out the country. Anywhere out the country is like it's just a different thing, you know.
Is there
So
any
we
place you haven't been to that you want to go to?
uh yeah, yeah. I haven't been to Africa yet. I want to go there just to go there.
You
I
know,
don't know if I don't know if I like it, but I want to go there just to see.
Sid is out there.
I know he keep telling me to come out there. That's where I want to go. I want to go to Kenya, to where he is. You know what I mean? Hang out there for a couple weeks.
Hmm.
I do want to do that.
He done took Black Market Records to another level out there in Africa.
Yeah.
You know, so what do you have going on right now, and what do you want the people to? Anything else you want the people to know?
Yeah. Right now, I'm doing the got the cookbook. You know, I gotta send you the link. The vegetarian cookbook that I'm doing. It's done. It's done. We just need to fix the font size on everything.
Okay, you guys, regarding the cookbook, he's gonna be on Good Day, and then we're gonna have probably like what a book signing, set up a book signing for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. He's gonna put me to work on that.
Yeah. We doing that. And, you know, we just did the popped open the Zen Garden South Sac
And what's the
in
address over there? Do you know?
7909 Bruceville, next to Fat Duck's Pizza.
All right, it's over there by Valley High and Bruceville, you guys.
Yep, across the street from Kaiser.
I popped up over there over the weekend.
Did you?
No, y'all wasn't even there. Y'all was at the Elk Grove Park. I was
Oh yeah,
trying to
yeah, yeah.
surprise you guys. I was surprised Creek.
Yeah, we be off and on up in there. You know, we don't really be because we work there, but we don't work there like that. You know what I mean? We do the things that we gotta do there, but we not. It's not really a set schedule, so it's
Yeah,
hit and miss when you come there. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I
Because
was
we
just
got
trying to
so much
surprise
stuff
you
to do.
guys.
Yeah, it'd be so much stuff we got to do in relation to it there and outside of there. You know what I mean? So we be taking meetings with people and other facilities and other distribution places, and you know, it's a lot of moving parts. You know, so we really can't be there like a person would think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And congratulations, because I know it took a long time. You guys went through hell
Yeah,
getting that open. So
yeah,
I'm glad it's
yeah,
finally open and stuff.
yeah. Thanks.
And then you guys got something going on there on 420, right?
Yeah, 420. We gonna the whole weekend we're gonna have a bunch of stuff happening over there in the parking lot.
Okay. You
Uh,
guys is Zen Garden, Zen
yep,
Garden,
South Sac.
the South Sacramento one.
Yep.
So go, and the hours are what, like 10 to
Yeah, 10 to 9.
10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Yep. Yeah.
So, and what else you got going on?
Um, that's just those two things besides that movie we just got done editing.
Mhm.
And yeah, those are the two things we're doing now, besides, you know, putting our brands nationwide. And now we got this one open. So now we have two more other dispensary licenses, one in Boston, Massachusetts, and another one in Delaware. So now we could, you know, work on trying to get those open now.
Oh, wow.
We've had those for a couple of years now, but too.
What made you get into that business though?
Um, just the frustration of seeing how many people that aren't African. There's no African Americans in the space, and I just see how much money they're getting off of things that we were thrown in jail for, per se. You know, so it's like that's what's the driving motivation of wanting to be in the industry is we know that it's a space for us to be there, and you know, um, there's really no competition for us by being in the space because it's very few of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but the whole industry as a whole, it looks like it has the facade of us, but it's ran by a bunch of you know people that aren't necessarily even from the culture. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, okay, well, we are some of the most authentic people to be in this space because this is what we've been doing for years anyway, illegally. Now we can go ahead and do it legally.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know you was open up in other states and stuff. That's good. That's really
Yeah.
good. What made you become a vegan too?
I mean, I always ate different. I always been like weird about food anyway. And
Mm,
so just, I have some friends back in the day, like in the 90s, that was educating me on health benefits of eating meat and not eating meat. And
mm,
so I realized that it wasn't necessarily healthy for us. That was like when the mad cow disease and all that kind of stuff.
mm.
But I was already weirded out behind meat anyway as a kid. And so they introduced me to vegetarian stuff, food. But back then it was like cardboard though. You know what I mean? It wasn't really as good as it is now.
I think that's why when we met that time, I was like, oh no, I can't do no vegan.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why I wrote the book, because the book is catering to people who say that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
almost like y'all act scared. Don't be scared of it. You know what I mean? That's the name of the book. Don't be scared.
Is
You know what I
it?
mean? Yeah. Don't be scared. Yeah.
Oh,
That's the name of the book.
oh Lord.
Vegan food. Don't be scared. You know. But yeah, no, because I'm trying to cater to people who aren't vegans so y'all can understand that you can get the same enjoyment out of food without even eating meat. You know what I mean? Because it's so creative now. And
Mm.
it's the same way. It's fried, it's dipped, it's
Is it
battered.
fried?
Yeah, it's fried, it's dipped, it's battered, it's textured, but it's not fried in dirty grease. In the grease that's harming you is fried in oil. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So it's all health stuff. So it's like a healthy. It's a health. You're getting health. You're getting nourishment. You're not just getting food. Like when you eat meat, you're just eating food, and people like to think that, oh, I'm getting protein. Oh, you're getting third party protein. You're getting protein from an animal that was eating grass. You know
mm.
what I mean? If the animal didn't eat grass, there's no protein for you to get. You know what I mean?
That's
The
something to think
proteins come,
about.
yeah, proteins comes from vegetables first.
Mm.
You know,
So what's the best
but
dish? What's the best dish? Like, what do you think I would like? You could get me to eat out of that book.
um, it's this. So you wouldn't know the difference if you ate some vegetarian chili.
It's not spicy, is it?
Nah, it don't gotta be spicy. Nah,
Thank God. I
it
don't do
cannot be
nothing
spicy.
spicy.
I'm just saying you would know that you're not eating meat.
Oh, for
You know
real?
what I mean? Yeah, you wouldn't know that you're not eating meat. Either that, and you wouldn't know it's like a mushroom steak. If you make like a steak and potato type thing, garlic mashed potatoes and
Uh,
steak, but
uh,
it's a mushroom though, which you
uh,
wouldn't necessarily know is a mushroom.
oh, really? Yeah, because I don't eat mushrooms. You know I'm
Yeah,
picky.
yeah.
I'm not picky.
Yeah, but why don't you eat mushrooms? It's the same texture as chicken and beef.
Mm, mm.
It's the same texture, not the little portobello ones, not the little.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to experience. You have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to, yeah. I might try it if
No,
you.
tell me what it is about mushrooms you don't like.
Number one, they ugly, and I don't like the way it tastes. Y'all don't be laughing at me. They
They
are
don't
ugly. Mushrooms are
mushrooms
the
don't.
ugliest thing, and I don't like the way it tastes.
You gotta see the picture of the mushroom. The mushrooms I got, they pink, they yellow, they blue. You ain't seen the book, huh?
You sent it to me, I think. Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want maybe.
I got to go through it. No, wait a
Yeah,
minute. I thought you sent me something to.
the first couple pages is the picture of some mushrooms, and they look like rose petals.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, yeah, they look like rose petals. They pink, they yellow, they blue. They
Okay.
don't look like they don't look like the ones you see on the ground, or you know what I mean. Those are the regular ones that everybody got. The
All
ones I'm
right.
talking about, these exotic ones.
Well, I trust you, so I'll try almost anything.
Yeah,
Almost anything.
yeah.
I will have to pray before, it just depends. So
Nah, it ain't that bad. That's why I say you ain't got. Don't be scared. You
I
know what I'm saying? Yeah,
don't be scared. Oh my God. That's the most easy thing, y'all. Don't be scared. But the book is coming out soon. You know, look out for him. We're gonna get him on Good Day. We're gonna have a meet and greet, you know, book signing, you know, all that stuff. You know, you are gonna do a meet and greet, right? For the book.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. That's something he will do. You know, but
barely,
really. Hey,
barely
let
do
me
that.
tell you, when I was trying to when I did the flyer for this show, for this interview,
Uh-huh.
I was trying to pick the right picture, and all your pictures, you was looking so mean. I said, "Where is the ones where he's smiling?"
Um, when I was younger,
No, no, no. I think I did pretty good. Did you like the flyer I did?
yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Oh, it was cool. All right, it was
Oh,
cool.
it was old. It was old. It was pictures from the '90s, but that was cool.
Oh, so it was
It was
the.
old pictures.
All right, family. So one more last question. Is there any artist that you have not worked with that you want to work with?
Probably Chris Brown.
Oh, wow. Chris Brown.
I can get to him, but Chris Brown probably.
Okay.
Chris Brown, and probably some R&B dudes.
Sorry, but it's okay. And I don't see nobody not nobody's asking any questions. Everybody just watching. So, all right. So anything else you want to, how come, you know, you want to give out your Facebook, Instagram, you know, and there's anything you want to give out before we
Yeah,
get off?
Instagram is Mike Mosley 7007. That's the main one. That's the main one I really be on. I don't really be on Facebook. I'm randomly on there.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so that was it. Appreciate you for what I mean, helping out and being a true, real good friend and supporter of everything, what I mean, that I do.
Yeah.
So
Always.
blessing.
Yes, yes, yes. And thank you for my early birthday present.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, family. You guys, Mike Mosley, y'all been asking about him. Y'all always, when you see me, you always ask me about him. Full blown interview. Go back and watch it if you just tuning in. I see some people just tuning in, but we did almost get an hour, even though he said he couldn't do an hour, but I got him do an hour.
Oh, time to go. Time to go. Gotta go.
All right, family. Love you. See you later.
Okay, love you too. Bye.
Okay.